morning, everyone. So, in the last class, we are trying to discuss with the generic concepts here. So, in that the generic concept here, we identified here. So, how we can work on this particular while called arguments here. So, the simple example we identified with help of this particular method called same average here. So, basically here, so what exactly is the information we need to understand here? And here, so whenever we are making this particular method as a type here, cutting the pen. So when we are trying to make this particular method that starts as a T, what happens internally? Whenever we created the object with the same type, so whatever the type you are going to provide, the same type only we can access this particular same average method. Cutting the pen. So that we already identified in the previous class. So we created object integer and we created one more object with the double. So when we are trying to access the integer with the double, so integer object reference with the parameter called double, we are getting an error here. Why we are getting an error here? So because IOB is having integer data type and so DOB having double here. So both are not the same type here. Cutting the point. So both are not the same type here. So in this case, we cannot work for the type here. So for this kind of example, we need to go for the while cross parameter here. So something called question mark here. Right. So whenever we are providing this particular question marks, so it will not check the type of the particular object here. Cutting the point. So whatever the parameter we are going to provide, so it's going to accept the any parameter here. We can pass any parameter here. So that's the kind of example we are passing here. So IOB reference we are calling the method called same average, and if we are passing the object here different one, so that is called double object information. And so this is the way, so we are getting an the expected output here. Maybe here because of this particular average method is returning false here, so the below statement is not printing here, but so it's not giving any compilation error, so it's compiled successfully. Okay, so this is all about the simple example we discussed in the last class, and today we'll try to understand the more information about this kind of parameters here. So to understand here, I want to provide the one more example on the same the while cloud example here. Let's see. So we'll try to work on the same package here, something called generic here. Inside this particular generic concept here, now I'm trying to create one more class here, something called 2D. So this particular 2D class is having some information, something called into x comma y. So this is the constructor I'm trying to create here. So which is expecting here int a comma int b. Int a comma int b. So x is equals to a and so y is equals to b. Right. So this is the 2D constructor I defined here. So which is expecting two parameters here. Right. Now let me save this particular 2D class and I will go for the one more class here, something called 3D. 3D class. And this particular 3D class is going to extend to our 2D class here. So carefully observe here. So basically, so you don't have any, do you have information about this keyboard here? How the particular this keyboard is going to work? So can I know like how exactly this keyboard is going to work? Only variables. Okay, so can I know the purpose here? So what is the for instance variable to for the instance here? Okay. So basically, what I want to provide here in the 2D, when we are having the local variables and the instance variable same, when we are having this particular local variable and instance variable same name, so compiler will get an ambiguity. So which variable I need to use? So instead of using the local variable and instance variable same, so we can go for this keyword. So basically, this keyword is going to refer the current class object information, not the variable here. So we can go for the constructors, we can go for the methods, we can go for the variables here. So it is applicable for these three locations here. And in this case, if I'm going to work this particular method parameter also x, this particular method parameter also x and y. So here it will get an a, so it will get an a basically ambiguity here. Now you can see, so x equals to x. Basically, now as a developer we know the left side variable x is refers to the instance variable. The right side x variable is referring to the local variable. Getting the point. So we need to understand very carefully. So local variables and instance variable. So if you cannot understand here, now you need to check for our previous class videos here. So how we implemented, right? So back to here, these two are the local variable to this particular constructor. Now, whatever the value I'm getting, I value so instead to the instance variable. Getting the point. We need to know about the scope of the local variable as well as instance variable scope. Okay. Now you can observe here. So this is giving an error here. Now why it is giving an error? Basically, in the 2D, we did not define the implicit like a default constructor here. So directly we define the parametric constructor. So in the 3D also, we need to define the parameterized constructor. So to define the parameterized constructor, first I want to define the variables here. So only one variable I'm trying to define here, z. And now you can observe into a comma, into b comma, into c. Right. Here I'm trying to call super a comma b. Super a comma b, z is equals to c. Getting the point. So this is our 3D class. Right. So this is a simple example we already identified when we are trying to discuss with the inheritance here. Basically, using the inheritance here, how we can work on the particular generic concept. So this is I'm going to explain here. But now I'm trying to create a inheritance classes here. Observe here. So the last class I'm trying to create here 4D here. So this particular 4D is going to extends with our 3D. Getting the point. So whenever it is extended here, so we already identified here, it's giving an error because of the default constructor. We did not create the particular default constructor. Okay, we'll try to work on the parameter constructor here. So the 4D constructor, which is expecting 4 values here. So int b, int c, int d. And here I want to call a comma b comma c. And t is equals to d. T is equals to D. Getting the point. So this is all about the our 4 type of constructor here. In the 4D class, we define the 4 type of constructor. So this is all about the 3 classes we defined here, 2D, 3D and 4D classes here. So this is very important, the inheritance concept we implemented. Now what I'm doing here. So I'm trying to work with the bounded parameter here. So how exactly the bounded parameter I'm going to create. So this is important here. Let's say I'm going to create one more class here. I'm going to create one more class here, something called bound here. Getting the point. So the name of the class I'm trying to create as a bound here. So after creating this particular class, now what we need to understand here. Getting the point. Now observe here this particular bound class here, right? And this particular bound class is trying to work with the inherited classes here. Getting the point. So what are our inherited classes here? So the inherited classes we discussed like this here. 2D. Getting the point. So previously we checked with here number class here. Getting the point. So whatever the type we are going to work here, the type of the class it needs to extend to this particular 2D class or any subclasses here. Getting the point. So this is important. We need to understand here. Now you can see. So this section of code we are trying to work with our custom bound functionality here. So in the last class, getting the point. In the last class we discussed with our predefined bound class, that is number. Okay. So back to here, after defining this particular class here, now what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to work with array type here. Getting the point. So array type I'm trying to create here, and we are having constructor here. So using this particular constructor. Getting the point. Here I'm going to provide the same parameter here. And bounds is equals to BOU. Getting the point. So this is all about the constructor I'm creating here. Right. So once we understand this particular constructor, now what I'm trying to write here, I'm going to work with the one method here. So this is very important, we need to understand here. So I'm trying to create one static method here. So static void, basically here we are having the XYZ values here. So I want to find out the XY information here. Getting the point. So XYZ values here, because all the 3 classes we implemented something called XYZ values here. So if you observe, the name of the method I'm defining as a show XY. Getting the point. Now you can see this class we created with the one constructor. Second, we are going to create a one method here. So name of the method we are taking as a XY. So previously we identified wildcard methods here. Sorry, wildcard parameter here. So the wildcard parameter, now which purpose we can go for it? So whenever we are not providing the same type of the data type, when we are trying to work with different data types here, so we understood here we can go for the wildcard parameter here, right? So the simple example here starts here. The starts here we created one method, something called same average here. Based on this class object reference here, we created work like this here. Because this particular same average we are going to call for the integer data type, and the parameter we are passing as a double here. So same way, now what we can do, so this particular bounds also we are going to create here and do carrying the point. So we cannot work with the type here. So when we are going to work with the type here, we need to provide the same data type here. So for example, if I'm going to work for the 2D, the 2D data type only we need to provide here. Getting the point? So for example here, if I'm trying to work for the T, right, here we need to work on the 2D data types. So I need to specify the parameter also 2D here. So I cannot provide the same as a 2D. So if I'm going to provide the different object information, so instead of working with the T, we can go for the wildcard parameter. So that is called question mark here. Getting the point? And now we'll understand here if I'm going to define this particular parameter like this here. Getting the point? If I'm going to define this particular parameter like this, now what happens internally? Getting the point? Now, so I want to provide some message here. So printing not to T Y. So XY values. So after this, now what I am trying to write here, because we are going to get this as a type here. Getting the point? So this object information we are going to get as a type. Okay. So let's see now what we can do. I'm going to, sorry. Here, I want to create a loop here. So why I'm creating the loop? We are getting array of values. Getting the point? So don't confuse here. So I is equals to 0 and I less than. Getting the point? I less than. Here, we need to work for this object condition. Object dot. Getting the point? Object dot bounds. Object dot bounds here. Dot length here. Getting the point? Now this is very important here. So how I'm making the condition. And after this, I want to print the information. So what exactly the objects we are having here. Getting the point? So C dot obj dot. So here this is the bounds here. I want to specify array. Getting the point? So it's nothing but we are going to load one object. Finally, I'm trying to call x value. I'm trying to call x value and here I want to check for the dot y. Getting the point? So these are the values. Right? So just for understanding, for each loop, we are going to get some space here. Okay. Now we created x5 method. So we are going to provide the particular parameter and we'll try to work on this simple example here. Now we need to understand here in the 2D. So we are having x5 parameter, the x5 parameters only we are accessing here. So here we are accessing the x and we are accessing y here. Getting the point? So now we need to understand more about this particular object creation here. So what happens here? If I'm going to create a object of this particular section of code here. Getting the point? If I'm going to create this particular section of code, what happens internally? Let's see how we can work on this particular classes of code. This is our main class here. Otherwise, I think here only we can create a main method. So here I'm trying to create a main method. Basically, so which is expecting array type information here. Now, what I want to do, here I want to work with the same object 2D and So TD, here I'm trying to specify the object reference here. And internally, now what I'm trying to write here, so which is expecting the constructor information. Both are the integer parameters. Both are integer parameters. Now, the first one I want to provide 1, 2. So this is the second object 45, 78, and this is the third object information, something called 65, 54. Now the final object I'm trying to create here, something called 87, 98. Right? So this is all about we created 2D array here. So the type we created here, 2D array. Getting the point. So after creating this particular 2D array, now what we can do, so we need to create our bounds object here. Getting the point. So which is expecting here, so collection of information. Sorry, array type here. Getting the point. So here we created array type here. The parameter is expecting array type. Getting the point. Now we can observe, basically here is expecting T. So here we need to specify the first T here. Now you can see, if I'm going to specify here, we need to specify the T. So if I'm not providing anything, it will treat it as the base class here. So that is called 2D. Sorry, BD. Now I'm trying to work with bounds here. What we can do, here I can specify the TD. Here I can specify the TD. So the TD values I'm trying to work here. And after this, now what we can do, I want to call here, so XYZ method, I want to call BD. Getting the point. I'm trying to call BD. So we need to understand here how exactly which is going to work. Getting the point. So here, what are the information we are going to get here? Let's see, if I'm going to run this particular example. So this particular X values is printing here. Getting the point. X values is printing. So the X value initially we are having. Okay. So here we are not getting the space. Okay. Let's see. Observe here. Right? So what are the values we provided here? Now you can check here 1, 2. One value for the X, second value for Y. Same way 45, 78, so 65, 54 and 87, 98. So it's working fine. For this particular 2D object, it is working. Now, if you observe carefully here, if I'm going to change here, getting the point, if I'm going to change here. So instead of 2D, if I'm going to create 4D here. Getting the point. If I'm going to create here FD here. Right. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Because 4D, which is expecting 4 types of like 4 parameterized constructor here. 70, 45, 78 and 41, something called 65. And the third constructor here I want to provide, so 32 comma 21, and the final one 98, so 96 comma 85. Right. So this is the 4 parameterized constructor we created here. So after this, now what I'm trying to write here, again I'm going to call the same methods with our bounded here. Instead of 2D, I want to create here 4D here. So BD1, FD I am trying to specify here, and BD1. Getting the point. Now we need to think more about this particular FD related information, because we are trying to work with the 4D class here. So let's see if I'm going to run the same application. So Java run as application here. Now you can observe. Okay. Sorry. Here we are printing only 2 values here. But now what I want to do, I want to print 4 values here. Getting the point. Now you can see X, Y, Z. Now you can see, so the Z where we define in the 3D, we define the Z here. Getting the point. So in the 3D, we define the Z here. But now you can see, here we are unable to access the Z here. So Z cannot be resolve this particular variable information. Why the Z value we are unable to access here? Getting the point. So why I am unable to access this particular Z value here?
Extend 3D.
Because this already all the classes are extended here. Now you can see the 3D is already extended 2D and 4D is already extended 3D here. Getting the point. So basically we are going to have this particular drawbacks here. Getting the point. We are going to have, when we are going to work for the wildcard parameter, we cannot go for when we are trying to work for our inheritance concept here. Basically here what we can do, the class is extending to the superclass, but still we are unable to access the subclass information parameters here. Getting the point. The subclasses information we cannot access here. Now what we can do here? Now what we can do, so to work on this particular same information, now observe here. I'm going to create one more method here. To work on this particular example, I'm going to create one more method with the same type here. Only the difference here, X, Y, Z. Getting the point. So X, Y, Z method I'm creating here. So when we're trying to work for this particular X, Y, Z here, now what we can do, we need to work on so here, this particular bounds here, it needs to extended 3D. Getting the point. So this particular section of code we need to define. Okay. So here we can access the obj dot bounds dot z value. Let me save here.
Bounds of I.
Sorry. Yes. I. Getting the point. So same thing, if I'm going to work here, now observe carefully. Getting the point. Now if I'm going to save here, still the error cannot be resolved here. So now what you understand here, Z cannot be resolved here. Getting the point. So this is very important here. So here I'm defining the method XYZ. So this particular bounds is extending to the 3D so that we can access these many values here. Right here, so we are trying to work for the vehicle parameter. So directly what happens internally, this particular bound class is extended to this particular 2D here. Getting the point. Basically, so here whatever the type we are going to specify, so it is a subclass of this particular 2D. Because of this, we could not get this particular Z information here. Right. To understand we need to change the method like this. So same way, if we want to access the 4D values here, if we want to access the 4D, now what we can do here, we can define one more method. We can define one more method, show all. Here we can go for the 4D. Final one, we can specify obj dot bounds I dot t. Getting the point. So this last method, if it try to provide the parameters information. Getting the point. So when we are trying to work for the 4D, because 4D is our subclass, it will try to work on all the instance variables here. All the instance variables. Now what we can do, so simply, so instead of calling xy here, so what is the method we can call? Show all. Getting the point. If I'm going to call show all, now we can easily understand here how the values are printing. So see carefully here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 45, 78, some 4 values we are getting here. Getting the point. So this method is applicable to only for 2D class here. For 2D class. Here, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to pause the 2D section here. So it is the same type here. It is the same type here. We can follow only 2D. If I'm trying to change here, we are not getting the parameters section of like the subclass instance variable section here. So this is very important here when we are trying to work for the inherited concepts here, like when we are trying to extend the one class to another class here. So we need to define the methods here. The type of parameter type is very important here. Basically, if I'm going to change this particular method parameter here for the static type here, what happens internally? We cannot go for the another class here. So using the generic concepts here, so what is the advantage we are getting here? We can create any any data type here. So based on some restrictions here, because here we are having the restrictions here. So whatever the data type class we are creating here, so it needs to extend to this particular 4D class. So those kind of classes information only. So it will try to accept here. It will try to accept here. Okay, let's see if I'm going to change here. Instead of show all here, I want to work for the XYZ. I want to work for the XYZ. Here we are not getting any error here, but now you can observe only 3 values we are going to print. So the 3 values are these 3 values only, not from the above example here. Now you can see 45, 78, 41 and so 65, 44, 32. Getting the point. So why we are getting only 3? Because we are trying to print only 3 values here. So this section of code is extracting 3D. But here we are calling this bounds object with a subclass. What is our subclass? 4D. Getting the point. So this is very important here. The object we created here, the subclass of this particular 2D. Getting the point. So this 2D here, what we are trying to providing here, So this particular bound class, we are having a one condition here. Here, this particular type, cutting the point. So it needs to match with this particular 2D class, or it can create a subclass of this particular 2D. We can create a subclass of this particular 2D. Now, what you are understanding here? Here we can go for the 2D or 3D or 4D. For example, if I'm going to change here, for example, so what is the class we can create? Let me check. Can we create a gen? No, gen also correct. Here, I want to work for the gen here, something called integer. So now, what I'm trying to create here, new gen. So here, I want to provide 88. So gen object we created here. After this, now what I'm doing here? Here, we need to work for the bound class here. This section of code I'm going to create here. Here, BD2. Instead of TD, I want to specify G. G is the reference of this particular gen class, and which is expecting array type here. Now what we can do to create array type here? To create a array type here, now what we can do here? Simply we can work like this. So cannot create a generic array here. Let's create here. Okay. So we don't have a scope to create a this particular generic array here. So we need to create a basic class here. So this section of code will not work. Let me check any simple class is available. Yes, we are having this particular non-gen. Non-gen here 88. So this section of code is providing array type here. Here I'm trying to provide an ng here. Observe here. Observe carefully here. So here also we created arrays. So here also we are creating array values. Getting the point. Here we created multiple arrays with the same new keyword here. But here we created only 0 index. Now you can see this section of code 0, 1, 2 and 3. Getting the point. So around 4, the size we created as a 4 here, but here I'm trying to create the size only 1 here. So size it is not a matter here, but here now what we are doing here, we are trying to work for the bound 2D. We are trying to work for the bound 2D and we specify the TD. And here now what I want to do, I want to change the generic type here, non-gen here, and I'm trying to specify the ng. So we'll observe what is the error we are getting here. Now you can see bound mismatch, the type non-gen is not a valid subset of this particular bounded parameter. Now what you are understanding is, while creating this particular bound object here, now what you are understanding is, so it needs to extend, so this is a range here. Getting the point. Non-gen, it is not a the particular inherited class here. So there is no relation between the 2D and non-gen here. So this section of code we cannot create an object here first. Getting the point. So if we cannot create an object of this particular bound here, we cannot call the any method which is available in the particular bound here. Getting the point? So this is very important. I want to provide the information regarding this particular bound class here. This bond, whenever we are creating the bond, so we're having some restriction. We need to go for the 2D, or we can go for the subclass of this particular 2D. And here we created the particular subclass called 4D. 4D is our subclass. Now you can see here the type is specified as a 4D. So it's not giving any error. Happily we are accessing here. But only the drawback here, whenever we are trying to pass the particular parameter of any method here, so it's going to call the appropriate section of the instance variables here. Appropriate instance variables here. Right. So this is all about the. So one more example on the wildcard parameter when we are having inheritance concepts here, how exactly we can create here. So any questions regarding this particular bound example? Okay. So this is all about the simple example. We'll try to understand the generic methods here. So how we can create the generic methods here. So this is also very important section we need to understand here. So to understand this particular generic section here, so basically we already identified. So we already identified the generic type here. So same way we are going to create the same type for the generic method. Okay, let's see. Here I want to go for the one more class here. Right. So this section of code is very important here. Let me create a generic method demo. I will create a main method also here. So here inside this particular generic method demo, now what I want to do, I want to provide the information here. So this is very important. We need to understand here the name of the method I'm trying to work for the static behavior, and after this I'm trying to providing the type here. Getting the point? I'm trying to providing the type, and this particular type it needs to extend it from the comparable. So it needs to extend it from the comparable here. Again, the comparable is expecting here T here. Getting the point? Comparable also generic type here. And after this, now what I want to provide here, I want to work for the, so sorry, not here. I want to work for the one more parameter V. So this particular V, it needs to extend it for the our type here. Getting the point? So careful observe here. So we are creating the one type here. So this particular type, it needs to extend it to this particular comparable. So basically comparable is already available in the java.lang package here. So we'll see how exactly the comparable is going to work. But now here, this is the one parameter we are working here, and one more type here, V. So V, it needs to extend it from this particular type here. The name of the method, so it's trying to return the Boolean data type. Getting the point? So the name of the method is in. So careful observe here, the name of the method is in, and after this, so I'm trying to providing the is in method parameter, so which is expecting T and so V as a array type here. V as a array type here. Getting the point? So directly for understanding, I'm trying to providing the return false here, but now I want to provide one condition here, like one loop I want to provide, because the V we are getting as a array type here. The V we are getting as a array type. Now we can see how we can work on this particular V. Int I is equals to 0, I less than y dot length and I plus plus. Getting the point. Now I want to check the condition x dot equals to this particular, so y of I. Getting the point. So x dot equals to the y of I and return true. So otherwise it will return false here. Getting the point. So careful observe here. So this is the generic method here. The types, the parameters are taking different. The return type like so the return type we are having the boolean here, but now we are having a condition here. Getting the point. We are having the condition. Whenever we are providing the parameters here, so the parameters it needs to match this particular conditions here. It needs to match this particular condition. So whatever the type we are going to create, so the type it needs to extend it to the comparable class. Getting the point. And whatever the v we are going to provide, so the v also it needs to extend it to the type class here. Getting the point. So here we are having two conditions. Okay, let me create a let me call this particular method. So if I want to call this particular method, now what is the information I want to provide? So x and y. Getting the point. So how this particular x is expecting here? The x is expecting integers here. Okay, first I want to create a array type here. To create this particular array type here, I am trying to create a integer nums here, and after this what we can do, up to 8. So up to 8 I created. Getting the point. Now observe carefully. Here I'm making the condition. So here I'm making the condition by calling this particular values here. Sorry, by calling this particular section of code here, and if it is written true, now what we can do, I want to print this values here. So basically the two value available in num array. Getting the point. So this particular is in method I'm calling. Right. So one more I want to call here. One more method I'm trying to call here. So changing the value. Something called 9. Getting the point. So 9 value is not available in the nums array. Getting the point. Observe, I'm going to run this example here. I'm going to run this particular example. So carefully observe what is the value we are getting. So the two conditions are satisfying here. Getting the point. Two conditions are satisfying here. So if we observe carefully, so whatever the example I'm going to write here, this is important now. Now you need to provide your answer here. So whether this section of code is going to work or not here. I'm trying to create a string here. Getting the point. So previously we checked with the integer. Now I'm trying to work for the string here. So this string here, 1, and 3. So maybe these 3 are the enough here. The array I created here. Getting the point? If I'm going to call this like this, is in by specifying the 1. So this section of code I want to make comment here. 1 comma str. Getting the point? 1 comma str. So it's going to work successfully or it will give any error here. So whatever the line I commented here, so it's going to work successfully or it will give any error here. I want to print the same section of code here, and one value is available in the str array. So can I enable this particular line number section code? So it's going to give any error if I'm going to enable, or so it's compiled successfully. So what you're trying to think here? Okay. So observe here, we are not getting any error here. Why we are not getting any error here? So now what you need to understand here regarding this particular string, this particular type is extending comparable or not, we need to check. Let me open this particular string here. So this is our string class here. Observe. So string is extending comparable or not. Getting the point? So whatever the condition we are making here, so this is important here. The type here, what is the type we are creating? String here, right? So which is extending this particular comparable, and values here. So values. So what is the values we are having? This particular str. So str is also same or not? The type and values are same here. Getting the point? So it needs to be same or it needs to extend it to the particular type here. Okay. So this is very important here. Now the problem here, so we'll get a problem. If I'm going to run like this, here instead of str, if I'm going to make nums, if I'm going to make nums here, now you can observe what is the error we are getting. Now you need to read very carefully here to understand the generic methods here. So can you please let me know to remove this error? Now what is the code I want to change, and why it is giving an error? No idea? So basically here what is the information I want to provide here? Values here. So what is the values we are having? Integer type here. So integer type, this is the value section, right? This integer type, it needs to extend it to the t, or it is equals to this particular t. T is nothing but type. So what is the type we are having here? The type we are having string here. Now what we need to check here, whether this particular integer class is extended string class or not. Getting the point? We need to check. So whatever the value type, the type we are providing as an integer, the integer, it needs to extend it to the string class. So then only this particular error will resolved here. Getting the point. So this is the way we can check the conditions here. So this is very important here. If I'm going to run this section of code, now you can see, okay, so you made two types here. So because of this, so we are getting two println statements is printing on our console here. Getting the point. So this is all about the generic method here. So how we are making the condition, like how based on that how we are making the type and the parameter section here, right? So this is all about the very important concept we are discussing regarding our method here. So any questions? So any questions regarding this particular generic method call is in? Okay, so we'll try to work for the constructors here. So how exactly we can go for the constructors here? So the constructors also important here, generic constructors here, right? Let me create one more example on the generic constructors here. So generic constructors, and when we are trying to work for this particular generic constructors here, now what I'm doing is, so I'm trying to work for the one more data type called private double call val. Okay, and here, so here now what I want to provide for this particular constructor, I want to provide the parameter here. For the default, we don't want to provide any information, but when we're trying to work for the parameters only, so we need to go for the generic constructors here. Or same thing, it is applicable for the method. If the method is not taking, so we can define the normal method. But when we are trying to go for the parameter section here, we can define the with some conditions the appropriate method here. Right? Okay. So back to here. Now what we can do? So I created the default generic constructor. Now I'm trying to change to the parameter constructor. Here I want to go for the type here. Cutting the point. I want to define the type here. But here directly we cannot create the T. The T is giving an error here. Cutting the point. Now what we can do? So to work on this particular constructor, first we need to specify like this. So how we define the same information for the method, we need to define like this here. Observe carefully. T extends from the number. The T is extend from the number. Getting the point. Now the error is resolved here. So what is the condition I'm making here? Whatever the type we are going to provide as a parameter, so it needs to extend it to this particular number class. It needs to extend it to our number class here, right? And I want to go for this particular val arg dot double value, arg dot double value. Getting the point. So this is important. Now I want to call the one more method for printing the show value. Getting the point. So this is important. Now here I'm trying to work for the main method. So can you please let me know what are the steps we can create here, this particular constructors here. To create a constructor, now what we can do? We need to specify the type here. The type I'm providing here, gen cons here, is nothing but so generic constructor GC new so can I define like this? Can I define like this here? The line number 12, if I'm going to enable this particular commented, so it's going to work successfully or it will give any error here. So this kind of example already we discussed in the last class. So just I want to confirm that whether you are understanding or not. So I'm creating one object like this. So it's going to work successfully or it will give any error here. Okay, so I think you're not understanding it. Let's see. It's giving an error here. So can you please let me know why it is giving an error? Okay, so one more example I want to provide here. So just think here. Here I want to work for the GC1 and I'm going to provide 75. Why this line number 13 object it's not giving an error? Why the line number 12 object is giving error here? So we need to think about this condition here. Getting the point? So what is the information we are providing here? Whatever the type we are creating here, the type it needs to extend it to the number class or it is equal to the number. Getting the point? Basically this string, getting the point, this particular string it's not going to extend it to the number, right? If I'm going to provide to something called 41.0, I'm not getting any error here. I'm not getting any error here. So observe gc1 dot show val, gc dot show val. Run a Java application, we are getting the values. Okay. So even though we created with the integer, it is converting into the double. Right. So any questions regarding this particular constructor? It is simple to understand here. So whatever the type we are providing here, the type is important here. So not only the number, what we can do, we can go for the any class. So for example, here we can define the 2D also. I can define the 2D also. But here, if I'm going to define the 2D, we need to define the logic internally different here. Getting the point? So when we are defining the 2D, we can go for the 2D object or we can go for the 3D or 4D objects, right? So this is the way the extend we can define any class. We can define the extend any class. Along with this particular section here, now what we can do, we can go for the, so this is also. This particular B, it can extend to T, right? It can provide anything. So if we want to work for the one more parameter also, we can define here. So this particular extend here something called, what is the parameter we can take? Gen. Observe here. So how many the conditions we are making here? So this is very important here. We can make anything here. So whatever the Z we are providing here, the Z, so it needs to extend to this particular gen. While creating this particular gen, again we are having the T. So if I'm going to open this particular, T, we are having the T, right? Here we can define the generic concepts information. So we can define any number of parameters with like this here. So otherwise, directly we can go for the T comma V also. We can go for the T comma V also. So this is all about the simple information, how we created the generic concept information like this. So this is also one more constructor we define here, generic here, but to this T coming from the class object here. This T coming from the class level. So here we are not providing any for the class level generic type. Directly we are trying to work for the constructor level. So this is the difference between the normal constructor and generic constructor here. Okay. Now, so what okay. So before going to provide the one more example here, just I want to confirm. So any questions regarding this particular constructor? Okay. So let me provide the generic interfaces here. Getting the point. So we identify the generic classes, generic method, generic constructors. Now we need to understand the final concepts here. Generic interface. So how we can create the generic interface? Okay. Observe here, to understand the generic interface, again I want to go for the one interface here. So the name of the interface I want to work for the min-max. I want to work for the min-max here. So this particular interface I want to work for the, like I want to convert it into the generic style here. So the generic style here, if I observe, here I'm defining T here. Okay. So this is the one way to go for the generic concept here. Right. So otherwise, if you want to provide any condition in the generic concepts here, now what we can do? We can go for the extend here. So T extend here, anything here. I'm trying to provide with the comparable here. Observe here. Getting the point. So whatever the type we are going to create, the type it needs to extend it to the comparable. So otherwise, the normal open brace and close brace between the T, so that we can define the type of the interface here. So these are the two ways to we can go for the generic concepts here. And here, now what I'm trying to understand here, so once we define this, here the return type I'm providing T here, right? Name of the method min, and for the max also I am trying to work for the return type, the max for the return type T. Getting the point. So this is very important here. So based on the input, the return type is changing here. Getting the point. Whatever the data type we are going to create, the value also, the method also, it's trying to return the same data type here. Okay. Now, this is our interface concept. Now what I want to do, I want to implement this particular interface. Min-max IMPL. So basically, min-max IMPL is our implementation class from the interface here. So let me implement min-max here. Min-max. But here is expecting T. Getting the point? Now you can observe, so I cannot define the directly t here. So if I'm going to implement here, now you can observe the t errors we are getting. So this is very important here whenever we are trying to work for the conditions here. Now what I need to do? Getting the point? Now I want to resolve the t, because the t we are going to work for the runtime here. So we cannot define the t values at compile time. If I'm going to define the compile time, so it is a static here. We cannot create so multiple data types here. Getting the point? So this is very important here. So to understand here, now here we need to provide the t. Here we need to provide the t here. Here I'm providing this particular t, and now what we can do here, we can define the. So if you observe, if I'm trying to remove this section of code here, now we'll get an understanding here, min max here. Oh, again we are getting the t. Basically, I want to define like this. Remove this and unimplement. Now you can see any error we are getting here. We are not getting any error here. So whatever the type we are going to provide, the return type also same here. The return type also same here. So this section of code, it's going to provide this section of code is going to provide our generic interface here. This section of code is going to provide our generic concept here. Now what I'm doing here, I'm trying to work for the same type array, and min max IMPL here also. So directly we can define this t array values is equals to O. Now what we can do here, zero. Whatever the first one we are getting, so that is we are going to treat as a minimum value. Getting the point? And for the max, we can go for the last one. So I can return V. Right? So simply here also we can go for the so val dot length. Right? So this particular length we are going to get. And here now what I'm trying to write here, length minus 1. Length minus 1 here. So this is the t. I will return this particular t. So this is our max value. Just for simple understanding, I'm trying to provide these values here. So this is the way we can implement the code, and we can return the values here, right? So this is all about so providing the information, the generic interface here. This is all about the generic interface here. So any questions here? So what what are the steps we are finding here? The steps we are finding here, main method, and we can provide the values here. The first one, so integer nums I want to provide. 45, 23, 12, and 56, 65, 87, 96. Okay, some values I'm giving here. Same way, this is the characters here. Right? These are the character information. And after this, now what we can do? We need to create objects here. Getting the point? We need to create objects. So what is object we can create here? Something called min-max IMPL. So after creating this particular min-max IMPL, IM is equal to new min-max IMPL. Here I want to provide nums, and for another one, right, let me provide the integer. What happened here? Here, right? So this is the way we can create IM1. Right, after creating this, now what we can do? We'll call the methods here. IM dot, so max method, and main method, max method, and main method. Here, IM1, main method. Right? Let me run this particular example. So 2145 WA. Right. So 21 is a max, 45 is a min. Getting the point. And max here we are having the W, min we are having A. Getting the point. So this is the way we can go for the generic interfaces here. We'll create a generic interfaces like this, and we are going to work on the implementation examples like this. Right? So these are about the basic example. So try to practice more about the generic concepts here. So this section of code, it's going to provide the more understand about the how the generics are going to implemented internally. If you know the little bit understanding here, so we'll try to understand the collection framework here. Basically, collection here. So this particular collection class, now you can see, is implemented. So basically it is an interface. It is implemented from the E, and is extending from the iterable class. Again, here also they implemented E. Right? Now, if we observe one more class, array list here. So this particular array list here, if I'm going to see, again we are having the element here. Getting the point. So this list also is having the element. Element is nothing but generic concepts here. So as of now we have discussed the T. Same way they are having the element here. Element also same thing like a type here. Okay. So we'll see the differences, how exactly. So those are having internally. Okay. When we are trying to have the collection classes example, you know, so you can easily understand how the generic concepts are working internally. Okay. So any questions regarding about today's session? Okay. If we know anything, like we'll continue tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to discuss the lambda concepts here. So how this particular lambdas are going to work. So inside the lambdas, we'll have a different example here. Okay. So don't miss the tomorrow class because tomorrow is very important concepts we are going to discuss here. Okay. So we'll continue tomorrow.